Hey, welcome back, Veteran Nation fans. So I did a live stream the other day, and I told a story, and I realized I don't believe I've ever told this story on the show, and I was on someone else's show. So I thought I'll bring it to you guys because I know you guys. Uh, you seem to like whenever I talk about stories about when I was serving. So with this story, let me set the stage for you. It was I was at Quantico when I first came enlisted, which I enlisted in 2002. I start shortly after 9/11. I entered the delayed entry program. They couldn't get me to boot camp until January of '02. So summer of '02, I end up at Quantico, and I was there for 4 years, and it was a good time. I did enjoy my time at Quantico. Quantico is a little bit different, but it was a good time. And I for the most part, well, actually, for the whole time except for when I was sent TAD, I was in headquarters battalion there, and because I was administration when I was enlisted, um, it was a good learning experience. I'll say that. But one thing that did happen was I was put into the IG's office, and I worked out of the Inspector General's office. And Quantico is a unique beast because it's both the IG's office for the base and also for MCCITC, which is Marine Corps Combat Development Command. So that's the command that oversees all of the training, all of the education, all the schools. And so I was there for in that office for 3.5 years roughly. I'd have to go back and do the math, but it was I was out of the headquarters building, the general's building there in Quantico, and we were on the staff judge advocates wing, and I think that's all still there. It's been a long time since I've been back to Quantico, but yeah, so that's where it was. So I worked right next to the SJA. All those Marines, I lived in the barracks with them. I got to know them very well. And because of my job with the IG, I also got to know a lot of the MPs. And, there were times where I went and I played poker with some of the MPs, got to know those guys. And, they were always sending stuff to us. I was sending stuff back to them. So you just you know, you kind of develop this circle. Well, they did a health and comfort inspection on our barracks. Health and comfort means they're coming through to make sure your living conditions are good. And they also are making sure that no one who's underage has alcohol, that no one's got any type of drugs. Um, it's a way for the command to kind of keep a good um, handle on how the Marines are living. And what happens is when those happen, people open up their windows, and if they got any contraband, they're tossing it out the window. And when I became a leader, you learn, oh yeah, that's happening. There are going to be people within your command who are going to break the rules, but you have to do these type of measures to try to keep those Marines who are maybe on the cusp. You have your 10%ers who are going to be a pain, and they're just going to do whatever they want to do. They're going to break the rules, and those are the ones you push out. But the ones on the cusp are the ones that you want to try to keep on the straight and narrow. So that's what that health and comfort is for. So uh, I'm in my room. They did the health and comfort inspection. They had us outside in a formation, and they release us back to our rooms. And I'm in my room. I'm getting ready for the day, and the MP comes in my room because we had to leave our doors open. Comes in my room with the what I thought was a drug sniffing dog, and he walks through, and it was an MP that I knew, and I was talking with him. I was like, "You don't have to worry. He's not going to alert to anything. There's nothing in here." And he goes, "Oh, I hope he doesn't alert. This is a bomb sniffing dog." So they didn't even get a drug sniffing dog because apparently they were being utilized for other stuff. But it was just that whole, we're going to go through your rooms. We're going to bring these dogs. No one knew that they weren't drug sniffing dogs, but you know, you, it was a pretty good bluff. So I laughed about it, and we talked a little bit because the guy, we were kind of buddies, and he leaves, and then uh, fast forward like a couple months, and him and the dog come into my office, and we're talking, and there had just been a major incident on base where like a third of the base had been locked down. And if you ever look at a map of Quantico, the town of Quantico is completely surrounded by the base. So you actually have to drive through the base to get to the what we call Q Town. And there's not a lot of parking in Q Town. It's a really small, old Virginia town. There's some parking, but it fills up very fast, especially when it's like chow time, because all the Marines go into Q Town to get something to eat. So what a lot of people do, especially if they're taking the train, is they will park in this one really big parking lot and take the train up to, say, um, the Pentagon and work up there. And that's pretty routine because the train is a really great way for people in Northern Virginia to be able to get to work. Um, Very reliable. And he goes, yeah, that was all me when that got locked down. And I was like, what the hell happened? And he goes, well, we had gone to accounting. And accounting, if you have any problems with your pay, you got to go to accounting and fill out paperwork and, try to get things squared away. And accounting was located with the base theater. And across the street was this parking lot. And he goes, so we'd left and we are walking through that parking lot going back to my cruiser, and the dog alerted to one of the vehicles in that parking lot. And it was pretty interesting because you know I knew this dog was a bomb sniffing dog, but there, even though we had the DC sniper, September 11th was still fresh in everyone's minds. It was maybe this. I'm thinking this was like 2004. I can't tell you the exact date. It's just been so long. But the dog alerted and to this particular vehicle, and he tried taking the dog to other vehicles, but it kept alerting to this one. So he calls it in, and they immediately set up a cordon because they have to block off people going into Q Town. They got to block off the main road that goes all the way through. It makes a U shape, a horseshoe through the base of Quantico. So literally, like the base is almost completely on lockdown. And he's calling this in. He's like, "Yeah, I've got a bomb sniffing dog. It has alerted." And this is when like EOD robots and still that type of stuff were still new. But the one place that definitely had them were the DC area. So they call those in. They come down from DC, and they are going through this vehicle and everything. And here it turned out it was a Marine from down south who had bought fireworks and had them in the trunk of his car. Just stupid fireworks because he was gonna, probably go to out with his buddies because there's a lot of areas there in rural Virginia where you can shoot off fireworks and stuff like that. And that's all he was gonna do. But it just so happened a bomb dog was walking by his vehicle and then alerted, and it significantly affected the base operations for the day. Like literally, there's like this tunnel that you go underneath the railroad to get to what they call the Marine Corps University. It's where they do the command staff college, and a lot of the distance learning is based. That was blocked off, so that's like there was like only one other way for those Marines to be able to like get around. So it really disrupted the base at a time where everyone was very much on edge, and yeah, it was just because of a Marine with fireworks. But I did say to him, I was like, well, your dog is really well trained now and that he works. And he's like, oh, yeah, this dog got a lot of praise after that. And, but, it's just one of those things that happened that I thought was a really interesting story. And I know some of you guys really like hearing the stories. And because I told it on another platform, I wanted you guys to be able to hear it. So I just wanted to do its own video. So there you have it. There's my my little story about a bomb scare in the DC area that I knew a lot of the players involved in. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and as always, thank you for being worth serving.